What's up, YouTube? Welcome back. Hitting the review early today. The market is already closed, but I got class in like an hour, and it's gonna be like 2-hour class. I just want to get this out of the way and done, and then I'll take care of my classes later. But this is the priority. So, negative day. It was tough to trade the open, in my opinion. I just got decimated. A taste of August trading, really my first August trading. And summertime, like where was the follow through? So as you can see, I draw location on. Boom, boom. Where is this? Originating right off the top. What bar is this? Elephant. Boom, I wait for the second bar to enter on confirmation. That's literally right off the Fab 4. Risk is decent. 2 lots. And I'll just look at the next bar. Immediately wiped out. So I enter here like 2. Stop here. Stopped out. And let me do the math. 35 out of 83. That's what? 17 plus 35. A bit over risk, but didn't mean to. Slippage and whatnot. 104. Green bar, you can see it. Triggers barely. No follow through. Instant wipeout. So I'm like, bruh. That was my vision. Had the whole bar, position. No follow through, man. Good location. Had the elephant bar, but just got absolutely no follow through. So I had to stop out. Valid trade. Okay. So when I see that, what do I do? Green bar off this location, no follow through. Violent, immediate and violent reversal. So I'd actually stop and reverse. I'm going 2 lots here. And well, in the same bar, this thing popped up, made a tail. I got out. So I stopped in reverse, and then thing decided it wasn't violent anymore. It wasn't a violent reversal, so I get out. So this thing is just killing me on both sides. Position, I don't have position, but violence. I have violence. I'll just type it out later. Risk was okay. Name, literally color change, immediate wipeout. And this one was minus what? Sold short at 82. Got out at 24. Sold short at 80, got out at 24 as well. Excuse me. Boom. So I don't think I meant to go oversized on this one either, but it is a bit bigger, violating my max loss. I think on the stop and reverses, I have to chill out, not go in with as much size. Because if they're truly violent, the bar will be pretty big, right? And just the logic behind that is on a big bar, I shouldn't be able to put on so many lots. Makes sense? Makes sense. Oh shoot. After the green bar, got no follow through. I was sure that this red bar was a violent and immediate reversal. So I hit the stop and reverse. Within the same bar, it decided it wasn't violent anymore and closed a tail bar, which is bullish, also given its location off the top of the Fab 4. The stop and reverse was going against position. From now on, if I stop and reverse against position, it has to be real light. Only one lot, or like half of my intended position. Why? This is because the only time I should reverse against position is if I have violence. And violent bars typically tend to be huge. On a huge bar, it should be logical that I shouldn't be able to place a lot of size anyways. And it makes sense to me because I don't have position on my side. Size can wait until violence sears through any support or resistance. Then I'll find an ad on a pullback or bounce to get my full position in. Make sense? So basically, boom, this bar is going against violence, and probably this could be more violent, but instead of putting 2, I should have put 1, right? And just let it do its thing. If it's for real violent, it will bust through. Then it comes into the next level of support. It should bounce up, and if it truly is violent, it should hold the 50% mark of the leg that it just put in and drop, color change and drop. And that's where I put in the rest of my size, you know, just so I'm sure. Because this one, I don't have the confluence of position on my side. I'm like going against, you know, position, and location is important. Position, because I'm not clear of all this support. You got the previous day close at 20, you got price, you got the 200, you got everything. Once it gets down here though, like, yeah, that's free falling. I'd be more confident in betting down once it's clear of all of this. Alright, so what is that? 104, 114. Alright. I'm telling you, Apple decimated me this morning. I hit another stop and reverse. Anticipation on this tail. Cause like, damn, it wiped out that whole red bar to put in a tail. Alright, I'm gonna go long. Because I had position under me too. You know? Like, I'm more, what do I say, confident that it's gonna follow through if position is on my side. And like, this is a tail bar right off of this +1 position. You know, it's beautiful. So I reverse +2 again. Name, tail bar, position, literally right off that. And this had free skies to go up, but it didn't go up. And then, you know, out here, out there, minus, what was it? 88.25 minus 87.8. 87.8, so that's 45. And you got 88.2. I don't know if you guys can hear the lawn mowing outside. It's kind of loud, but bear with me. 87.79. 0.41. So this one is an $86 loss. And I think that was it for Apple for the day. After that, I'm like, yo, no. I'm going to wait for this thing to establish its trend. Then I'll get in on confirmation, because I was getting killed up and down, up and down. Like, I wasn't going to guess anymore and be the first one in on the first leg. So if this thing did drop down after this bar, I wasn't going to try to go short again. I would have waited for this and then wait for the bounce. And that's when I would be in. But yeah, nah, I wasn't going to guess and do all of that. Because it just wasn't showing follow through to either side. This red bar wiped out the green. Violence didn't follow through. Whole bullish green bar, whole tail bar off this position. Should have gone. Didn't go either. Got wiped out again. So it was just really uncertain. And I literally got knocked out 3 losses in a row. So I just couldn't let it do that to me. Bought on the first bar, sold, reverse and shorted, out again, bought on the reverse of the tail, boom boom. I don't know what's wrong with my calculations. I think I did it wrong, but either way, all of them were 3 losses. This reversed the whole red bar that I thought was violent, but didn't end up being violent. Otherwise, it would have cut through that 20 like butter. Hot knife and butter. Instead, it actually wicked hard and made a tail bar. And this time, it actually had the confluence of position on its side. So I was more confident in it than the trade going against position. So another stop and reverse on the tail, anticipation, but immediately wiped out on the next bar. 3 losses in a row, decimated. At this point, I was thinking, I can't keep switching back and forth. I just took 3 losses and price is uncertain. I was going to wait for momentum to show up, then wait for a pullback to enter on. I was willing to sit out and miss the first leg because price was so uncertain with no follow through on either side. I was just going to wait for an entry once trend and momentum established. And that's good. That's good. Next thing you see, this thing didn't follow through. Let's see Apple at the 5 minute. Was this today? No. This was today. Yeah, a lot of support at the bottom as well. On the 5 minute. Yeah, this thing was just really uncertain. I wasn't even able to break this. Triggers here, not able to get a new high, not able to get a new high. Triggers here, not able to follow through. It just, like, even with the rising 20, pressuring it up, just getting it go, nothing materialized, no follow through. Just really uncertain. At this point, it catches up. Now you can see, maybe, right here, just maybe, you could get a trend started. Still possible. And then, yeah, hopes and dreams are over. It's not possible. Just really uncertain today on Apple. I don't know what it did later. Oh, it went down. But I was already done for the day there. Yeah. This was probably really nice on the 5-minute, this afternoon session uptrend. Let me check. Came above, halted at 20, boom, boom. Yeah, decent. Okay, my next trade is on CVX, which was another violence play. So this is what I see on CVX. Boom, boom, violence dropping, right? Now, this compared to what I called on Apple as violence, like this is violence. So I was waiting for the bounce. Now this bounce got pretty far up in the bar, like it got past halfway of the bar, like maybe even got to the top third, which is too kind of high of a bounce. Like when you bounce lower 50% to a third should be good, but if it bounces too high, it's kind of can't really expect a new low. But that's what I learned today. I was expecting to get a new low and I just never got a new low. Like my position at one point was positive, but yeah. I think my first ad comes here, then I pow in the rest on this bar. CVX 9601, I mean 36, this bar, boom, boom, yeah, and then 38, I put on the rest, boom, boom, at what, 7, 55, 54, 50, let's just like the 60s, around there. I think my average price was 58, so let's just do that. Yeah, 4 lots short here. At first I had one lot up here, but then as this bar came through, yeah, I moved stop here, boom. But this was only on one lot. When I had the first lot here, not sure if it was going to drop down, but once it took out this low, then I added and then moved my stop to here. So name is color change. Position against position, but violence, the only exception. Risk was good. Then at 44, this thing bounced up. What did I add at 44? This one. At what price? 64? 164? On the color change, basically. Over here. I added 2 more. Okay. Now my average price is 52. And I think I just have like a max loss stop about this bar. This big bar right here. this one. So I do that. Wait, oh shoot. You wait. This bar drops through. I like the look of that. Was expecting follow through, but again, the bounce was kind of high. And it's against position. Probably should have been more of a scalp type play just to get some profits. This position was up like 200 something at one point, I believe. But I think I ended up moving my stop here and stopping out of everything. And now I got to do the calculations on this trade. I believe it was a small loss, minus 50-ish bucks. Let me just do the math. 25. Yeah. $49. I probably should have just broke even because of the location of this thing. This red bar should have followed through. Maybe I should have locked in half of the bar in case it did bounce, because it should have just came back and, you know, maybe like under the 20, hit the 200, I mean, then drop. That wasn't the case. This thing went up viciously. And then also, I do remember the location of the 5 was right off this 20 right here. It pulled back, halted this 20 right here, and like the rest was history. So boom. Overall, not too bad of a trade. Just my expectations for the profit, for like the follow through, were just not expecting too much, you know. Now this is violence for sure. The bounce was pretty heavy though. A good bounce. Stays in the lower half, preferably the lower third of the violent bar. But this one came back up to maybe 2/3 or like 75% of the bar. In that case, if I still short, I shouldn't expect a new low, since it has to travel a bigger distance down after bouncing up so high. You know what I mean? Like this bar right here, if it did this down, right? Here, look, this thing came down like this, okay? If the bounce respected the lower third or half, you know, this didn't travel too much. When it drops past here is like quick to the low, old low. So you could expect a new low. But if it pulls back this high, look how much more space it has to travel. Boom, and by then it's pretty tired. Can't really expect too much more follow through past the new low, you know? So the lesser the pullback, the more you could expect a new low. But if the pullback is deep, maybe just be sufficed with the old low. And also, gotta put into perspective where the support is, right? Look at this, right into this 200, right? Previous day close, 20, 200, all of that is stacked up. You got the whole Fab 4 here. Like, this is a whole area of support, all stacked up. But I didn't think about that. And be aware of what price needs to clear to drop down. If there's a lot of support, MA's, price, previous day close, the chances of it getting through are diminished. It's just logical. Yep. 5 minute as well had the MA support. I could have walked away from this with the break-even trade, to be honest. A fat red bar with no follow through, clearing the 200. Should not be a bar where I wait for the full event stop. This is, it's smart to use the anticipation stop and look to reverse if there's violence, which there was, and that's my next trade. The bull 180. So, to be honest, I could have got away with maybe stopping out of the last trade here and just reversing. Like, look at the score I have here. Price 20, 200, 8, 20. Just a lot. 20. A lot of space. A lot of support. But I don't think, I know I got out here, which was a bit delayed. This bar is a plus bar. I could have anticipated that if this bar got absolutely no follow through, that this bar coming up all the way is not no bounce. It's just violence wiping it out. If it was a bounce, it would have went boom, boom, rejected, right? Stay preferably in the lower 50%. So once this thing gets to like 75%, like that's good enough. Stop and reverse. It's like no longer probable. But I get in a bit later at the full, the bar's high, and my stop is at the low. 24. I have my stop at 24, which is here. Max loss. Name. This one's a 180. This is obvious. This got positions on its side off the 200. Risk. Good. Then I start adding. I don't get 3 pushes here, okay? I wait for 3 pushes. 1. I could barely qualify this as 2. No profit taking right, so I'm ready to boom or bust. I'm ready to let this thing fall back all the way and take me out if it didn't give me profit taking rights. But 20 is rising. What do I get? Add opportunities, right? So all within here, I'm pretty sure I get 3 lots on. Just within this vicinity, let's just say 3 lots. Average price is now 69, so I move my stop to 54, which is 15 cents on 5 lots, because I only had 75 bucks left to risk. 54 is perfect right below this bar, I believe. Yeah, it's perfect event stop. Boom, all 5. Then I believe I get one more ad. This ad is pretty late. So this bar, I make the brutal mistake of not taking profits, because what I saw it as was that this thing just took like 30 minutes to base and get its rest in. This thing pops up. So I think it's an igniting bar that could potentially follow through. But what did I learn about follow through today in August? It's tough. You don't be following through. But it did give me a profit taking right this time, so it's my fault that I didn't take profits. My last ad was at 53. Was it here? 1053. Yeah. It was just sad. Once this big bar came through, stop up. You can see it pretty clearly on the 5-minute. It did put in a new high here as well. Anything past here I could have taken profit on. I took nothing off, which is my fault. Should have been at least partial. And if I didn't take anything, I should have at least locked in this high, which is what? 60.91, but as you can see later, I got out at 60.79, pretty much below this big bar. Yeah, pretty devastating. This trade was up maybe like 250 at the peak. Yeah, profit taking territory. But then I add over here 1 lot, so now I have 6. This thing pops down, doesn't break yet. I move my stop right under, just a couple pennies, and then I stop out. So that was tough. This one was like plus 24 bucks. Yeah, lost a big lump of profits there. Another trade where I needed to improve my management. A very long trade that struggled to follow through in the first place. When I got the big bar, my thought was finally it's igniting out of a base, so I was expecting more follow through. But my expectations, as I could conclude from today's session, do not pan out nicely in August. August seems to struggle with follow through. The big bar gave me profit taking right, which was a new high, but I didn't take any. I ended up losing that new high by letting it fall back all the way, which was my fatal mistake. If I didn't get the follow through I expected, I should have at least locked some partial in, at least locked the old high. I should have at least locked the old high for a part of my position. Then let the rest trail out. In this trade, I just let everything trail out. The whole position trail out. And I gave up all profits. What do I mean by that? Well, I was expecting after this bar for it to like get up here, right? But as soon as I saw that it wasn't capable of doing that, the minimum I should have locked in, I would say, was here. Even then, like maybe a bit above that high, under these bars, okay? So I should have taken some out here. Then the rest, in faith that the 20 will hold. It didn't in this case, but see how I would have made more profits? Half the position here, out, half the position here. I would have essentially made the difference of this. If I took half the position off, I would have made this. Let's say I had 6 lots, I took 3 off. I would have locked in 161, 160, 40. 60 bucks, 60 more bucks than them falling all the way down here. Better than all of them falling down here, especially after I got the right. And like I let them fall all the way back here. Not a good idea. So yeah, that's another thing we learned. And then today in Baba, the last trade of the day, It was off the 8 of May. What do I see? This thing gapped down, pulls back, does not continue trending, falls back below, sideways drifts, holds that 8 of May. So now I know I'm looking for trades off the 8 because the pullback was to the 8. The sideways drift was to the 8. So essentially, this is my signal bar right here. An 8-cent bar that I put 9 lots on. 10-cent bar that I put 9 lots on. Right here. Going short on the color change off the declining 8. Stop was here. And it just dinged out. What can I say? Yeah. That's how it goes. Barely got any follow through. Name. Pullback, color change. Position. Declining 8. Risk was good. And then, slippage and whatnot. Because, technically it triggers, my stop triggers at 73. This thing, okay, never mind, it did get me out of 73. Yeah. This one's valid. It just follow through nowadays doesn't want to follow through. So struggled with follow through today, and then when my trades were profitable, I was kind of expecting too much follow through. The first short, the bounce was deep into the violent bar. The distance now that it has to drop again before even creating a new low is a bigger distance, as opposed to if it just retraced a third of the violence, a fifth. Then those scenarios you could expect a new low. But yeah, I guess I expected too much. And it was like into a bunch of support. And then you had the long, which again did put in those 2 legs, did give me a new high, did give me a profit taking route, but the management was bad because I ended up letting it fall back past the old high, giving up that old high, trailing out pretty much at break even because I was expecting more follow through on that bar, but no follow through materialized. And I got to trade what the chart is telling me. If it's telling me that it's not going to follow through, then alright, take that information and lock some profits. Don't force my expectation to materialize in the chart. That's not how the market works. You got to react to the market, not trade what you think. And yeah, my fault. It's always your fault in the market. Valid trade. Pullback, color change off the rising 8 or declining 8. Tiny acorn trade. Bar just trade just had no follow through again, and stopped out like 10 minutes later. So yeah, that's the trades for today. Ended up max loss, but really the only things Baba, look, I would say this trade is valid. Came back down, broke below, tested that 8 already. This one triggered, it literally did, so my stops above got like a bit of follow through, nothing crazy. It just came back and stopped me out. CVX, both of my trades were actually should have been winners. Boom, deep retracement. Shouldn't have too much expectation for this to drop and make a new low like that. Like the distance that this has to travel already is a lot more than if the bounce was just like a third here. Like, look at the distance this has to travel. It's just more probable here that it'll get a new low compared to the other one. Because look, here versus here, you know, makes sense. And then look at all the support. It's this trap zone right here. Should have known, and at least I should have been cautious, aware, and I could have stopped out and reversed earlier, but still, stop and reverse was valid on top of this. Got some color changes there. This one gave me the new high. I should have locked in at least this. Ended up letting it drop all the way down here. No good. Like if I didn't want to tick it here and wanted to extend my profits above, I should at least lock in a minimum, you know, and that minimum was here. Letting it go all the way here was too much. And then Apple, don't even know what to say. Thing just boom, no follow through to the upside, violent. Take out the green. I reversed in the same bar. Oh, it's not so violent anymore. Makes a tail, so I reverse tail off of this, right off of this position. I'm thinking, oh, okay, this will go. Got a bullish bar, got a tail bar. That's bullish. But no, next bar wipes it out. So stopped out all three. That's how the game goes, and then it never really established a solid trend. So like I said, I wasn't going to trade it until it finally established a solid trend. And that probably would have been here if it triggered, but the follow through is just lacking. So you got to trade what the markets are telling you, you know, not your version, not your made up imagination, you know, the false reality. Yeah, the expectations that you set for follow through just don't materialize sometimes, and you gotta not be so stuck on what you have in mind. You know, adapt, be adaptable. And those are the trades for today. Thank you guys. New month tomorrow. Let's get to work, and then this weekend is Labor Day weekend, holiday weekend, so we got a 3-day break. We'll chill, and then we'll get back to it next week. Thank you guys.